I hope our graduates are going home with some nuggets of wisdom. Now I introduce to you Royal Highness Togbe Afede the 14th, Agbogbomefia of the Asogli state. Togbe Afede the 14th was born James Akpo in Ho in the Volta region of Ghana on 23rd April 1957 to late Corporal Patrick Akpo and Madame Rose Anyawe, both from Hue Bankwe. Togbe Afede of the Asogli state in the Volta region was elected as president of the National House of Chiefs from 2016 to 2020. James, along with his late twin brother, began primary school at the Ho Bankwe Roman Catholic Boys' School in 1961 at the age of 4. After 8 years of elementary school, he entered Beje Secondary School in 1969 and successfully completed the GCEO level in 1974. He then proceeded to Laboni Secondary School in Accra, where he excelled in GCEA level examinations in 1976. He earned his BSc in Administration Accounting from the University of Ghana School of Administration, Legon in 1979, and received his MBA from the Yale School of Management in May 1989. Togbe did his post-graduation national service at the SWL Bank of Housing and Construction, where as a planning officer, he performed financial analysis of loan applications projects and established and negotiated short and long-term loans and financial packages for clients. Between 1981 and 1984, Togbe worked in the Ghana Cocoa Marketing Board as an accountant. Subsequently lectured in economics and accounting at Sokoto State Polytechnic School of Management Studies in Nigeria. In 1989, he returned to Ghana, accepting an appointment as a lecturer at the School of Administration, University of Ghana, where he taught financial accounting and accounting theory until 1994. Togbe Afede the 14th, the founder of the SAS group of companies, and provides overall strategic co-founded direction to the businesses. He has over 18 years of experience in investment banking, having co-founded Data Bank Financial Services Limited in 1990. Togbe has received recognition for his outstanding contribution to society, including the Order of the Volta Officer conferred by the President J. Kufuor on July 8, 2008, and several other awards, one of which is the 2011 World Entrepreneurial Day Awards, Chieftaincy Leadership 2010 Millennium Excellence Awards, Ghana, Order of the Volta 2008 National Republic Day Awards, Planters of Seed Awards, 2006 Ghana Top 100 Businesses Awards Ceremony, Personality of the Year 2005, Millennium Excellence Awards, Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Royal Highness of the Asogli State, Togbe Afede the 14th. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our Lord Chairman of Council, Justice Doche, Honorable Minister of Education, Dr. Adutum, Honorable Volta Regional Minister, our very distinguished guest speaker, council members of UHAS, Vice Chancellor and staff of UHAS, Togbe Teprehodo, President of the Board House of Chiefs, Togbe Mamao, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great honor for me to participate in this very important program and to be invited to this program as the guest of honor. My presence here today reminds me of that very important day, the 7th of February 2011, when, with the support of the chiefs and queens of Asogli, I assisted then President Professor Mills to cut a sword to lay the foundation for realization of what has been the dream of the people of Asogli, the dream for a public university in our community. Looking back, I can only bless that day. UHAS has come a long way and has been a source of pride for we, the people of Asogli. UHAS has achieved so much within its short period of existence. In the areas of infrastructure, we can all see it. The various programs that they run, to which they've continued adding, thousands of students that they've graduated, and therefore the difference they've made in our health sector. The several relations they've established abroad, the international partners are all listed in the book we have. Those are all very great achievements. I also would like to congratulate all who have helped in all these efforts of the university. Very much the contribution of the Chinese government and its contractors, and of course, the important role of the Ghana government in the journey. And congratulate members of council, both past and present, management and staff, both past and present. And to congratulate in particular the vice chancellors who have steered the affairs of this university over the years. A special congratulations to our current Vice Chancellor, Professor Lydia Aziato, who over the short period that she's been in the driving seat has proved beyond all doubt that she has unwavering commitment to the cause of this university. And of course, she has tried to forge a very close relationship with the chiefs and queens in Asogli. We believe that under her leadership, the traditional authority, the people of the state, and the university will work together to support the future growth of this very important institution. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, again, I'm honored to be here. This is my first participation in a congregation of this university, and it's my commitment to continue to be part of the journey going forward. Thank you very much. I want to congratulate our more than 800 graduates who the day belongs to. The purpose of university education, I believe, is to liberate the mind. The essence is to create astute decision makers who can make the difference in our increasingly complex society. These are the people that our country needs. And I believe that your years in this university has helped to liberate your minds, so you can think outside of the box and add to the stock of knowledge that is available to the world in your various fields of specialization. I believe indeed that with the strength of the resources that have supported you over the years that you've been here, you can be called critical thinkers in your various fields. And I want to welcome you to the Society of Critical Thinkers. You are entering the world in a very difficult period. And of course, the speaker has made reference to the challenges that the world is facing today. The world is undergoing phenomenal changes, and there are important happenings across the world. We are just emerging from COVID, which was an existential threat to the whole world. We are still in the midst of an important war, let me call it that. Never since World War II has the world been caught in a conflict as grave as we are witnessing in Ukraine, with adverse consequences for all of us. We also are battling questions about climate change, with serious implications for our way of life. The world has responded to all of this in many, many ways. So we see changes in the environment of technology. We see changes happening in the area of energy, talking about energy transition, to minimize the damage to our environment. We also are seeing changes in international relations. Various alliances are being built. We also are seeing changes in international payments systems, mostly in response to the happenings in the world, in particular, the war in Ukraine. All of these have produced consequences for all of us and have created uncertainties that make the world you are entering a very difficult one compared to what obtained just a few years ago. We have seen the effects on Ghana, where inflation has gone past 50% for the first time in many, many years. We've seen our currency lose value, a loss of more than 50% over the past 1 year. And we've also seen joblessness growing, particularly among our youth. So there are many who have left school many years ago who still have not found jobs. We also have seen a country that has become debt-ridden, unable to service its debts. And we've seen the response of government and the consequences for many of us in business, pensioners, individual investors, and etc. So those have created very, very difficult environment for you new graduates, and therefore making the future look very, very uncertain. The implications are about the same across all of Africa. COVID, the war in Ukraine, have demonstrated how vulnerable we are as a continent. One would have expected that, given our resource endowments, we should be the one to stand strongest in the midst of all of this. With 30% of all world's known resources, 20% of the world's landmass, and 17% of the world's population, one would have thought that the economic power all of these give us would enable us to withstand a lot of these shocks. But unfortunately, we have become the worst victims of COVID-19, and we have suffered more than any other continent the consequences of the Russian-Ukrainian war. This indeed is the environment that you are entering. This is the world you are stepping into. I want to add that it is not all bad news. Change and uncertainty bring opportunity, and that must be a source of encouragement to you. When everything is stable, you don't have an opportunity. When things are heading downwards, there's opportunity. When they're heading upwards, there's opportunity. When there is instability, there is opportunity. And those should be the things that should encourage you, that should let you know that with your liberated minds, your ability to think critically, you can find your place in the world. You can make a difference to the Ghanaian situation and therefore to the world situation. You should also remember that your education has prepared you very well. And so that should make you want to enter the world with courage. If you remember that there are only a few people in Ghana with university degrees, then be assured that you are among the privileged few. And therefore, we all are looking up to you to come and contribute to the resolution of the problems and the challenges that we face. You also have to remember that you have a responsibility to yourselves, your families, your communities, your country, Ghana, and to the world at large. And these responsibilities are what you have been prepared for, and you must be happy to face the challenges that come with these responsibilities. We also know that your sector is not necessarily one of the most endowed in our country. The speaker has made reference to the fact that you may not have all the resources that you will need for your work. But again, as critical thinkers, you must find ways of using what you have to greatest effect, so you can be positive contributors, agents of change in your very, very important sector. There is a temptation to join the exodus, as we see happening across all sectors, particularly among people of your profession. We know people with your kind of skills are in great demand across the world. But again, remember, as I said, in times of change, in times of uncertainty, there's an opportunity. And more opportunity abound here in Ghana, in Africa, than elsewhere. It is the realization of this that me to return to Ghana right after I completed my studies, because I know that Ghana presents a greenfield. Ghana presents an environment that you can make an impact in, an environment in which you can distinguish yourself, an environment in which you can make a difference. So I would encourage you to look more at the positive sides of all of these things. Again, uncertainty creates opportunity, and your education has prepared you, equipped you with the critical thinking that you need to confront the challenges and take advantage of available opportunities. These you must not miss. And I want to emphasize again that you have responsibility to yourselves, your families, your communities, to the country at large, and to Africa. The country has invested a lot in you guys, and you must accept that responsibility to help move our country forward. Let me emphasize that success in this endeavor, success on this journey, requires that you demonstrate certain characteristics, a lot of which Madam Speaker had spoken about, but which I'll take advantage of the opportunity I have here to emphasize. To succeed, no matter what you want to do when you live here, whether you want to go on with your education, you want to look for a job, or what I wish, set up your own companies, you need to have certain traits. One of the most important factors in success is ambition. You must be ambitious. You must aim high. You should have dreams that go beyond your capacity. If your dreams are not bigger than your capacity to accomplish them, then they are not big enough. It's like being in school and aiming to be the best in class. If you're not the best, you probably would end up, or you're more likely to end up being among the best. So you have to dream big. You have to aim high. You have to desire excellence in your fields. You have to have goals. That's the starting point. Many people define their goals in terms of money. I want to be rich. No. I define my goals, and that's what I advise, in terms of making that difference, in terms of making the impact, in terms of being the best in your field. When you are the best in your field, you will make money the way towards the way to being the best. When you define your desire in terms of money, it is not a sustainable desire, because when you get the money, then what next? But if you want to make an impact in the world, you realize that the world always has a problem to solve, and that will motivate you to continue to be on the go. So you have to be very ambitious. You have to aim to be the best in your chosen fields or careers. You want to punch above. But as I've always said, it's one thing to dream, and it's another working towards achieving our dreams. Dreams don't achieve themselves. So I want to advise that you back your dreams with hard work. Hard work is very important. Someone sent me a quotation that has become my favorite. You must sacrifice a bit of your sleep. Poverty is manufactured in bed. You cannot sleep as though you are competing with the dead and expect to make it in the world of the living. That is very important. Let us work very, very hard. Thank you very much. So hard work is key. You want to work harder than anybody around you, because otherwise you might be judging yourself against the wrong standard. So work very hard. Sacrifice some sleep. Sacrifice for the future. That is very, very important. But of course, hard work should not be just the amount of time you spend on the job. It has to do a lot more with how much you use your imagination. We talk about university education having liberated your minds. How are you using that liberated mind to find answers to existing problems? On the job, how are you using that mind to find better ways of doing what you do? Or how are you using that mind to create new products, new services that will make the difference to the world? It is that imagination that has created the Bill Gates of this world, the founders of Facebook, and etc. But we can also contribute some of these things to the world. It requires imagination. But to be able to have fertile imagination, it means you must continue learning. Learning does not stop with acquisition of certificates. And I'm not talking about going back to the class necessarily. You can always learn on the job. The mobile phones in our hands, wealth of information. Almost anything that tickles your mind, when you Google, you'll find answers. So continuing learning, continuing education is very important to keeping your imagination fertile so that you can be critical thinkers that would make an impact in your fields and therefore in the world. The speaker already talked about the need to plan. Planning is very important on an ongoing basis. Plan your life, plan your future. What do you want to do? Of course, it starts from what targets, what ambition you set for yourself, and therefore plans as to what to do to get to those targets. Extremely important. If you don't plan, you'll be like rolling in the dark. So planning is very important. Let it make it a part of our future, a part of our lives. It's very, very important to plan, at the family level, in business, and etc. You need to plan. Your ambition, your hard work, your imagination, your planning may not guarantee success at first attempt. And that's why I always talk about the need to always persevere. Perseverance is very important. Don't be discouraged when at first trial you fail. You have to keep trying. And of course that we learn when we're kids. If you try, you don't succeed, try again. These are very, very important attributes to have. Ambition, hard work, imagination, of course continuing learning, planning are all very important, backed by perseverance. But there are also the societal values that are very, very important, because you are going to the world, a world in which you work with people who you can't avoid working with. Imagine you were on an island all by yourself. Your attitude to life will be different. You probably can decide to walk naked the whole day if you are alone on an island. But you are societal beings, so societal values are very critical to our success. Among them, empathy. You'll be working with people from various tribes, maybe from various cultures and racial backgrounds. You need to have empathy. That is what allows you to appreciate where others are coming from. That is what allows you to give them the right respect that they deserve. And that is what allows you to love them and be able to work with them. So empathy is very important. And so is respect for one another and love. We need this very much in Ghana to ensure the maintenance of the peace that we've enjoyed over the years. But we need it as individuals for us to succeed in whatever we do. Whether it's up your own company or you join an company, you have to learn to work with people. So empathy, respect, love, very, very important. Of course, you have to be altruistic, where altruism means trying to do to people what you expect them to do to you. So altruism, as I always say, is the best form of egoism. If you love yourself, you want to succeed, you have to love other people and support them, then they cannot support you back. Selflessness is the best form of selfishness. Very important also is honesty. Honesty, respect for the truth have become very scarce commodities in our country, and that is not helpful. It doesn't help at the family level, neither does it help in business, neither does it help at school. So we need to hold very firmly to the values of honesty. You want not to waver a hair's breadth from the path of strictest honesty. We need that. That lack of honesty, respect for the truth, affects us in many ways. As individuals, as a country, it undermines our freedom, it undermines justice delivery. So we all need to hold firmly to the values of honesty and respect for the truth. Humility is very important. We need to be very humble. The more successful you become, indeed, the more humble you should be. The more humble you are, the more people will love you, and the more they will support you to achieve what you want to do. So at the workplace, demonstrate humility, both in your interactions with your superiors and your subordinates. Then you have the love and the support that you need to be able to succeed. You are not going to succeed just working as a learned hermit in your own little corner. You need people to support you. You need to show that humility that will make them love you and that will make them want to support you. No matter how little you earn on the job, whether it's your own company or you're an employee, you must learn to save. The savings habit is very important. I recall when we were in school in those days, secondary school, O-level, we were learning about the factors that determine demand in an economy, or factors that determine demand for a product. And among apart from all the basic ones that we learned, there were two that really have caught my imagination. One is defined in Veblen's theory of conspicuous consumption. In conspicuous consumption, you want to spend to impress. You want to be the first to buy that model, the new model of the car. You want to own the tallest building in the neighborhood. You want to be seen as the richest. Does it really matter? No, it doesn't matter. Chances are that you do that. Thank you. Thank you. Chances are that when you do that, you overspend, your means. Having lived abroad and having lived here, I know that many of us are victims of conspicuous consumption. We need to learn to cut our coats according to our size. Some people say according to the size of your cloth. That is very important. We need that modesty, focus on the things that matter. Many of us who live on our own, or who live on our own, we don't know how much we've invested in useless things until we decide to change houses in your parking. Then you see many items that you never knew you even had. So it's important to cultivate a savings habit. The other theory has to do with the Osembere's theory of social conditioning. A behavior that is socially conditioned is one that motivates you to buy that thing because your friend has it. You want to look like your friend. There was a time when everybody was proud to have a TV antenna on top of his house. If you don't have one, if you don't have a TV in your house. So because others have it, some people who didn't even have TVs to put an antenna on top of their, That behavior is explained in Osembere's theory of social conditioning. Let's, as Africans, and I'm sorry to say, Africans are particularly victims of this. That is why, when you go to America, you see that the biggest chains are our brothers. We shouldn't invest in things that don't matter. We have to save a little for the future. You see the kind of uncertainty we are in today in Ghana. You saw what COVID has brought onto us. Who knows about tomorrow? Make hay while the sun is shining. Let's develop our savings culture. And also, very important, is the need for us to show gratitude. Very, very important. Show gratitude to God, your maker. Whether you're Muslim or you're a Christian, once you are religious, there's a belief that there's a maker out there. You have to show gratitude to him. But it's not about just going to a chapel and praying all night. No. When God helps you, typically, he helps you through other people. So show gratitude to those people. Those of you who are living, remember, God has blessed you through UHAS. So show gratitude to UHAS. Your family has invested in you. Show gratitude. The community has invested in you. Show gratitude. It's very, very important. You have to learn to give. Remember, there's joy in giving. When your child returns from school and says, Daddy, look at this, take this. See, he does it with joy. So there is joy in giving. So let us learn to give. It's very important, and we always say that our joy is multiplied when we share it. When you succeed after living here, don't keep everything to yourself. Demonstrate gratitude to UHAS and all who have supported you, and you get more blessings to become even more successful. And remember, when you have it and you pretend you don't have it, it limits your progress. The Bible says it. To those who have, To those who have, more will be given. And it's easy to understand. If you go to 2 funerals, one of a very rich family, one of a very poor family, where are you more likely to donate more money? The Bible says it. To those who have, more will be given. Those who don't have, even the little they have, we're taking from them. So when you have it and you pretend you don't have it, nobody wants to help you. So that is one important positive in giving. So learn to show gratitude and learn to give. And you have more of the blessings to become even more successful. So remember, very importantly, those virtues that I talked about. Ambition is very important, backed by hard work, backed by imagination, continuous learning, and of course, perseverance. Those are key if you want to succeed. Then you have to plan. And then remember those societal values I talked about. They would take you very far. Empathy, respect for one another, and love for one another. Very important. Honesty must be your hallmark. Humility, very important. And so is the savings habit. The need to know what matters and what does not matter. Distinguishing between your needs and your wants, very important. It's not everything you want that you need. And also, remember, gratitude to the people who have helped you is extremely important. Remember that you can never succeed on your own. In closing, I want to emphasize this few points. One, the need for us to develop and ensure we have a very strong alumni group. A strong alumni group can be very supportive of the university, and it gives a chance to alumni to show that gratitude. And I want to urge that all of you who are living today, register and become members of UHAS alumni from immediately. And that is what the university must encourage, so that instead of waiting for you to go, when we start chasing you, we grab you right here. And it's very important to maintain communication with the alumni. There is so much that is happening every day in UHAS. If the Vice Chancellor goes to Accra to meet the Chinese ambassador, it's news. These are things that you can maintain, in your alumni news, so that the alumni are constantly informed. If alumni don't know what you are doing, they are unlikely to want to support the university. So maintaining a strong alumni group has to do with 2 things: keeping all of them on the register and also regularly communicating with them. I want to also emphasize, again, once again, to our graduates, please, you must be the agents of change that our nation so desperately needs. We have more capacity, from my experience, than we seem to appreciate. Just start by being ambitious. Start by thinking and planning, and you can see how much you can do for yourselves and your country. So once again, welcome to the Society of Critical Thinkers. Thank you. Very appreciate, as I said, what the university has become for the Asogli community. We want to closely identify with the programs and the fortunes of this great university that is making all of us proud. Over a short period, UHAS is now being counted among the best universities in Ghana. That's sort of pride for us. So on behalf of the chiefs and the people of Asogli, I want to donate 50,000 Ghana cedis to the and that goes to the endowment fund. Prof. Vice Chancellor, the secret behind an endowment fund is that an endowment fund spends income, not principal. When you invest it and spend principal, that is what allows the fund to grow. Otherwise, people put in money and it goes out. Put in money, it goes out. There will not be an endowment fund. Endowment principle requires that principal is not touched. Only the income, the interest, and dividends that allows the principal to grow. So that is the kind of endowment that I am imagining you have. One that spends income and preserves principal. It does not mean you can never ever touch a principal. In time of great need, the council can resolve. Let's touch a little bit of our principal. That's acceptable. But as part of its policy, our endowment fund must spend interest, dividends, so we can preserve the principal. Thank you very much, and congratulations again.